Welcome to the video version of my blog, The Armchair Philosopher, found at www.tjgabes.blog.com. The Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, the seventh largest church in the U.S. with 4.7 million members, voted recently to allow gays and lesbians in committed relationships to serve as ordained clergy, and even went so far in their resolution to allow congregations to, quote, recognize, support, and hold publicly accountable lifelong monogamous same-gender relationships, end quote, which some conservative groups equate with gay marriage. This vote comes just weeks after the Episcopalian Church voted on a resolution that stated, quote, God has called and may call, end quote, gays to ordained ministry in their church. At the root of the word religion is the Latin verb religere, which means to tie or to bind. Though skeptics and relativists would have us believe that religion is designed to tie up believers in rituals that deny rational thought, I find it easier and less prideful to believe that religion binds itself to culture to provide a grounding to shifting ethical paradigms. There is an old saying in the Catholic Church that though the world turns, the cross stands still. In other words, as culture changes and evolves, the morality of faith remains the basis for our ethical dilemmas. Yet it appears that mainstream Protestant churches are facing the realization that faith changes and evolves as well, sometimes right along with the culture that it is meant to be a bedrock to. The Catholic Church remains in an antiquated and nearly medieval mode of thought regarding sexual morality. In our present day, the Catholic Church has a view of homosexuality that is founded on the concept that homosexuals are, quote, intrinsically disordered, end quote, and are called to celibacy since homosexual relations violate the natural law. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops tried to soften the tone of Rome's vehemence against the LGBT community with their pastoral letter, Always Our Children, but the Vatican bureaucracy quickly ended any hope that any significant stride towards compassion would ever see the light of day. Centuries after the Catholic Church condemned Luther and Galileo, it apologized to a world audience for perhaps going too far to defend the faith against those that they believed were erroneous interpreters of the truth. Indeed, the Church even eventually stopped the practices that led Luther to the Wittenberg Cathedral with his 95 Theses. Would it be so hard to believe that centuries from now, the Church may find that it was wrong in this as well? Would it be so difficult to imagine that sexuality is more than the centuries-old concept of natural law for which it can account? Luckily, the Church has never elevated sexual morality to dogmatic truth, and as with all doctrinal matters, the faithful are allowed to dissent. I have chosen to dissent. I have chosen to express my sexuality and still call myself by the moniker of Catholic. I choose to believe that if our God is indeed a God of love, then we have nothing to fear from love, or from sex for that matter. Thank you for watching.